first met Dr. Daoud in 1993, and at that time, I suppose I was at quite a low ebb personally and musically, and a friend introduced me and said that I could receive help this way. And indeed, when I had some sessions with Dr. Daoud, then I was completely, my life did begin to change at that point. And at that time, we wanted to work with musicians together and see whether other things could happen from that. And it happened that he went abroad, lived in Lebanon for a while, and travelled worldwide. Nevertheless, came back to London. And now, for the first time, it became possible to invite people to meet together. And as musicians, we've exercised about how we do what we do, and things that prevent us from doing it as well as we can. And Dr. Daoud has this wonderful way to understand each person individually, very specifically as to what will help them. And so I was very keen for us to get together with him to meet and talk about issues of communication, ways that our training has, in some cases, helped and in some cases inhibited us. And so I wanted to get some people together to meet.
And why especially as musicians we need to communicate? Because I don't believe with the rational language for communication. I believe with a positive, emotional, non-verbal language of communication, in which music is one of these mathematics of the communication of the emotional language. And in moment, and there need to be a language in our society, actual language, because the most problem of the language is the conditioning of the mind. And the language which conditions the mind, and the rational language, is building a lot of things that troubles the communication. Why? Because builds contradictory in belief systems, and conditioning of the mind, and rigidity, and all these things. And then we had this problem. The point is how we can heal a system through music and through our selves, to reach to a language between us, and which inspires us with art, which gives us the freedom to believe in the way which we want, and which can lifts us to a certain harmony, which we can communicate with this art between us and between the people, without getting, because the mind has a big problem. All the civilization, the problem is the mind. Why? Because the mind has conditioned us in a certain way, because the mind can see two directions, or plus or minus, other alternative, or black or white. You can see only or with your rods the night, or with your cones the light. No other way. But the reality is beyond this. You can see only the reflections of the photons on the neutrons, on the nucleus, and gives the shadow, which is the matter. You can see the shadow of the things. You cannot see the vibration or the resonance, which we feel it in the music, or we read it beyond the space and time, which you cannot limit it to space and time. It can pass through the space of time. It gives you this ecstasy of the soul. It can brings you to this harmony between you and yourself emotionally. It binds you with another dimension of consciousness, which is beyond yourself. This is what means the artist. This means what means the creativity. This means that you are the channel in which it passes through you the vibration of this art like this. How you can build from these frustrations, which are negative, or you consider negative because your mind is conditioning it, and is mapping it through it, and becomes like a constitution in it, and represses your emotions. How you can bring a word of music with vibrations and with harmony, and to unlearn these conditions, and to become in everyday life, you are a musician, you are an artist. You know what you do, and what you eat, and what you do, and what you and what you pray. You are a melody, you are in harmony, you are not a rigidity. You see? This is what the word in which we need to work on it, on the system of communication. But to work on the system of communication, for the musician, because when you are a musician, what you transmit to the people when you play music. You, through this music, you can transmit your negative emotions and your obsession, and you can transmit your positive emotions. Behind this instrument is the energy who you are. If you are peaceful with yourself, and you are detached, and we came in front of the people with your charisma, and let the healing power in you, or the consciousness that guides you, to transform over the blockages, to forget who you are, to drop all your mask, to drop all your image, and to become a symphony from all the symphonies which you are playing on. Then you became an energy that can enter in every heart and in every soul and can communicate. But if you are sick with your image, trapped in your selfishness, block it means block it from the universal consciousness. Block it from your inner voice. You don't need to hear it. You hear what others said. You are a great musician. You are fantastic. You are and you forget that not you are who is playing the music. The harmony is playing through you. All of what you need from yourself is to be in meditation to let this harmony to work. But because you are conditioned in a certain way, you repress your emotions, you cannot communicate with yourself, and you dominate with your light on the people or like that, or with your techniques. And at the end, you are not communicating. You are creating to yourself a pleasure from a music or from tool, in which others can be addicted to it without being real. And after that, through this word, you are repressing yourself. You are not playing the music of your soul. You are playing the music from outside. You get repressed, and then you have the stress. And you get drained, and you have the problems, and you feel that you are empty, you are all these things, all this stress, because you are not making it with love and with the flowing and with the creativity, and liberated from your self in order to flow with what you are doing, to be a creative person. This is what is the most problems. That is why in music we get like classical music, we get separated from the society. We became like a club, imperial old-fashioned club. As we are in the palace of Wagner to Wagner, or in the time of here, and cannot present the compassion carried to the people. Because we cannot liberate from the vicious circle in which we are. And many musicians who play the classical music, they don't live it. It does not present their frustration as in old times. It does not present their pain. It is not healing anymore. It became like a club. Charming model which we call it art. Then you ask why I am not accepted and admired, and comes a new age musician or a primitive one, goes between these people and all over. He never studied in the university like me, he don't know to read notes, he don't know to compose music, and he can get like a pop star. I'm not a pop star, I am academic, I am different. And you get isolated. Because the people, they don't need music, notes. They don't need a professional for them. They need heart language, the music of life, compassion. If music does not transmit compassion to the world and inspires you with compassion, it is not the music. Because the main thing of the music is to speak the positive emotional language. If it does not bring this positive emotional language, you are not with the reality of life. You are with a closed circle of, and you are like in a closed circle, like other clubs, like other things, but the reality of the music was born before the human being is born. Music are the origin of universe, are the sound of harmony, are born in your consciousness before you. If you know the importance of this essence within your consciousness, then you can reach to this point of healing or of creativity or of inspiration. Then the point is that when we work on ourselves, for us to be the best instrument for the music, for our body to be this instrument in harmony, for our mind to be in this harmony, and let things to flow emotionally, and we know to connect with our depths and with ourselves, then we can connect with the others. But if I don't connect with myself, with this harmony, then I tell you the sounds connect with others without a human soul. Your soul needs to be there. Your vibrations needs to be there. Your creativity needs to be there. Not the notes, not the sounds, not all these things. When you come a part of your symphony, you are living in this emotion positive, then you get the healing power. Because the people, they need healing now. They don't need the music. Because they have more pleasures than the music. Only if they are old and they cannot move, and they cannot dance in discotheques, they will enjoy going to listen to the classical music and all these things. But the people, they need healing. They need this art and this music to heal them, because the music was a healing thing. When I am reading about Orfeo, with his lyre, he was healing, communicating with the animals. The snakes dance on his music. When I am speaking about Homer, when he speaks about the music, in his chorus and all these things, people, they were changing their lives. When I am speaking all about like that, today, music of today does not change the life, it puts you maybe to sleep. If we don't introduce this, why? Because it is not anymore presenting you. It's not anymore presenting the compassion of the people. It's not anymore connecting with you to connect with others. It's not anymore behind it is your spiritual life in which you are detached from everything, of your worries, of your images, and to enjoy your nothingness, to feel you are nothing but happy. When you know that you are nothing and you are happy, then you are like a piece of music. You are the music of the life. But when you are something, music is not something. Music is something which develops in your brain, brings the god Maya, which is in Indian mythology, god of imagination, in the free imagination which you want, And this imagination gives you a living. And living reflects on your neurons to secrete these molecules which programs your neural network to rewire itself and to develop the DVD of music in your brain and to set the harmony.